welcome to CSBC Life. This is the second episode in a bi-monthly series that aims to engage each and every one of our community members through celebration, education, mindfulness, and fun. If there's something that you'd like to share, something you'd like to learn, or that you're curious about, you can reach out to us and we'll do our best to include your topics in the upcoming episodes. And if you'd like to contribute any videos, audio clips, or something else, you can email me at mbazil@congdonstreet.org, or just leave a comment in the comment section on the video and we'll reach out to you. And so today we have a wellness moment for you, as well as a fun recipe from one of our members, Deacon Dayus. So we hope you enjoy this week's episode, and we'll see you soon. Hi. So for today's wellness moment, we're going to just do a body scan and kind of focus on being present with our emotions. This is another adaptation. So first thing we're going to do is find a comfortable position and take a couple full breaths. And your breathing can become shallow when you're stressed or upset, so try to feel your chest and belly expand when you breathe in and really let go when you breathe out. Next, let your attention gently move through your body from your head to your fingertips to your toes, and watch for places that you may be tensing or holding. It's common to clench your jaw or sit on the edge of your seat if you're feeling a difficult emotion, and just do your best to notice the tension and relax a little bit in those areas. So feel the emotion that's with you right now. Where do you feel it most strongly? There might be one place, or there might be several places where you feel that emotion's physical expression. It could be in your heart, your throat, your belly, somewhere else. And as you're feeling those things, see if you can be curious about those sensations. If you want to move away or resist them, that's totally natural. Just see if you can be with them and feel them, think about them with kindness and curiosity just for a moment, and remember to breathe as you're feeling those things. And you can use words to help you stay connected to that physical part of your experience. Maybe it feels tight or swirling or hard, whatever feels right for you, because you're just listening to your body's expression in this moment. You're not trying to make anything happen or stop anything from happening. You might have an emotion come up like grief or fear, and that's all part of the practice. Just notice that and bring your attention gently back to the physical sensation that you're feeling right now. And notice if your experience changes in some way when you apply an emotional label like sadness or a physical label like tightness. You may have a thought or a story come up, remembering what someone said or did to you, and that's part of the practice too. Just notice it, and if you can, also notice if the thought creates an echo in your emotions or physical sensations. Then come back again to whatever physical sensations are more prominent for you. If an emotion is physically uncomfortable, you can try to create a little space around it. Gently explore the area to see what else is there, any relaxation or openness, or maybe you can find the edges and right there just soften a little bit. And you can do this practice as long as you like, doing the best you can to let your thoughts and emotions go and staying connected with that physical manifestation of your emotion. Big emotions can seem like these sort of impenetrable experiences that just happen, but hopefully this practice helps you recognize the physical, emotional, and mental components of your emotion and what's calling most fear and tension and self-compassion.
Hi everyone, I've been asked to show you how I roast Brussels sprouts. So the first thing I do is I put the oven on 400 degrees because the oven has to be heated up while it needs to be on 400 before I begin. So I rinse the Brussels sprouts I pre-rinsed them already, but I just wanted to rinse them one more time. So what I have in the sink right here is a bowl for all my trash and the things that I will not be using. So I take at the bottom of each Brussels sprout, there is an end that's probably the garden end that goes inside of the soil. So I cut each one of them off first. As you can see, just with a sharp knife, which makes it very easy. So I throw those all in my trash bin or a trash bowl, whatever you want to call it. And so on each one of these, there's always there's some of the leaves that are dark and have stains on them or anything. So I take off at least 2 layers of that, put that aside. These are pretty good, but I still take some of them off. So as you can see, this one has a little bit of a brown spot right there. So I'm going to take 2 layers off there so I have good skin, or good leaves I should say. So this one has a lot of damaged leaves. See the brown right there? I'll take that off, and I'll take this one. So this one I took a few more. So if there are brown leaves, you just take those off because you don't really want to eat those. Those are damaged. Okay. So I've taken them off. So now they're whole and they're pretty good. So then I cut them in half because you want them to cook quickly, and so when they're smaller, they cook a lot better. So I remember when I used to eat the Brussels sprouts, my mom would simply boil them. It didn't have much of a taste. So now that they're already cut up in half, I simply put them in a bowl. So as I was saying, when I was young, all we did was boil them and then put them. We didn't do much butter, but they were like little cabbage, and they were bitter to me. And then when they came out with this idea of roasting vegetables, I was just turned on. They have a wonderful sweet taste. So I have about a teaspoon of, I use freshly grated pepper. Sometimes I grate it right on, but because we're doing this, I did a teaspoon of grated pepper. You put it on. I have a half a teaspoon of sea salt, or you can use kosher salt. Put that on. I like turmeric, so I always put turmeric on stuff because turmeric is good for you. And I use 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. And then I use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Any olive oil of your choice. I put that in the bowl, making sure I get every drop of the oil. So you could mix the oil, the salt, the pepper, and the turmeric together and then pour it on. And then you simply continue to mix it all so that each one of the Brussels sprouts, and if you've always turned your nose up at Brussels sprouts, try these. So if you have other flavorings that you like besides the turmeric and the salt and the pepper, you can put garlic powder, granulated garlic, any flavors. You could put rosemary, but I'm making it just simple for the first timers who've never done this. So then you take yourself a cookie sheet. And again, I only use about 1/4 teaspoon of the oil on the cookie sheet because I have a lot of oil. I discovered when I put too much oil, it steams it. So I take my little brush and I simply brush around each one so that you have put a lot of oil on your cookie sheet. It really makes sense But you don't want enough oil so it's dripping because you have enough oil on your Brussels sprouts. So here's your Brussels sprouts. Each one is coated with the oil, the salt and pepper, and the turmeric. So just remember, you're not putting a lot of salt because you don't really want to taste the salt, but just that little tiny bit of salt really brings them out, and they are totally delicious. So the next step is simply to pour it out onto the cookie sheet, spread it out. As I've done. So each one is on a single layer. So I like to turn them face down first because after you cook, you turn them over as best you can so that all sides are cooked. So you're going to put them in the 400-degree oven, and after 10 minutes, then you're going to go out, turn them over, and then put them back, and then try it again. So we're going to put it in the oven 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back after 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, we're going to check them, and you can see, I'll turn over a couple of them, they're turning brown. So what's good about it is I'm going to shake them so they're not sticking together. And I'm going to use my spatula, and I'm going to turn them over. Okay. So I'm going to turn them over because otherwise they will get too brown on one side, even though they're delicious that way. But it's so much better when you get to turn each side over. Sometimes you can take a whole bunch at once and they flip over, and sometimes they don't. So I'm going to grab a couple, flip them over. As you can see from the camera that they are turning deliciously brown, and you'll never boil them again unless you like boiled vegetables. But roasted vegetables, oh my goodness, they are so good. Okay, as you can see, they're getting lightly toasted, and that's really what you want. And so for another 10 minutes, we're going to put them back in the oven. And I just want to make sure every one of them is turned over because we want them to be evenly brown on both sides and not one. Okay, so I'm going to put these back in the oven, still on 400 degrees for another 10 minutes. And yummy, yummy. So after 10 minutes, we're going to take out the Brussels sprouts, and they've been done. This is the second side, and here they are, nice and delicious and brown on both sides. So you have a choice when you take it out. You can add Parmesan cheese or any other flavor. Parmesan cheese is really delicious. Any other flavoring you like. So I usually take them out, put them in a bowl, and I don't really add any Parmesan cheese, but it's really good. I've tried it with it, but as your first time, after you experiment, you can put what you like on it. So they should be crispy and brown just like that. You can squeeze lemon on it or Parmesan cheese. I just want to say, voila, here it is. Enjoy.
Hey, so that's it for this week's episode of CSBC Life. We hope you have a blessed rest of your week and can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. And again, if you'd like to contribute, you can leave a comment on this video or email me at mbrazil@congresstreet.org to send something in. So, see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.